Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be discussing why you should stop dieting but change your diet. Let's get into it. So the word diet in this culture is extremely dangerous because it has multiple definitions. One can easily confuse one for the other, and the reality is they should really come up with a different term for these two things because they are kind of different. They both relate to food, but they are different. First definition I want to talk about is a special course of food to which one restricts oneself either to lose weight or for medical reasons. So that's one, and that's the negative one. And the good one is the kinds of food a person, an animal, or community habitually eats. So as a disclaimer, I just want to say that America definitely has a weight problem, if you want to say it like that, a BMI problem, an obesity problem. And a lot of times, weight is related to negative health outcomes. But I think that the way that we approach weight isn't fair. And a person having excess weight on their body doesn't make them any less than, or it doesn't make them lazy. There's a lot of stereotypes that come about when you talk about someone that has excess weight, but that's not necessarily the truth. And I don't want this video to come off as attacking you or anything like that. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to do the opposite. We do know that America has a weight problem, and traditionally, like I mentioned in that first definition, the way to lose weight is to diet, or aka restrict. And when you restrict, a number of things happen in your body. There are a lot of positive things, but there could potentially be a lot of negative things. So I'm going to list a couple of the positive things, and then I'm going to discuss the negatives. So one of the positive things that can come about from restricting is improved autophagy. Am I saying that word correctly? Basically, when certain cells in your body eat other cells that are not doing good or aren't following the roadmap of how they should be behaving, which is a good thing. That's one way to like your body keeps itself in check and stops cancer from happening. And a second thing that it has been shown to do is to reduce oxidative stress. So oxidative stress is basically stress that happens when your body is producing a lot of energy in a period of time. So that's awesome. That's a great thing. How it works when you restrict. Traditionally speaking, they say that you should lose between 5 to 10% of your body weight by restricting about 500 calories every day, and this should take place within 6 months. And that is a healthy amount of weight to lose if you are overweight or obese based off of the BMI scale. That's great, except the problem is once you hit that 6-month mark or around that 6-month mark, your body gets used to eating less calories and no longer burns fat, and it kind of keeps you at the same place. So it kind of plateaus instead of your weight dipping more and more. So the reason why I'm not a fan of calorie restricting is because it can be extremely difficult to go about. Number one, it could lead to binging. Basically, if you haven't eaten, or if you have eaten less all day, once you get to the end of the night, some people find it difficult to ignore hunger pains that you have at the end of the day, and you end up eating an excessive amount of food. So binging is one negative consequence, not for everyone, but for some, of calorie restricting. Calorie restricting also takes a mental toll on someone. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have never actually sat down and counted my calories. And that's because it's a lot of work for me to measure, okay, I'm having this much amount of food at this part of the day, and then I'm gonna add it up and total up. Like, it takes the fun, it sucks all the fun and joy out of eating, as well as it turns eating into a chore. And not a lot of people, one, understand how it works correctly, and two, want to do that. And so it makes eating, like I said, it makes eating a chore, and that's not fun. And number three, it can cause people to have an unhealthy relationship with food. Like I mentioned before when I was talking about the mental toll calorie restricting can have on somebody, it can also cause people to have an unhealthy relationship with food by forcing them to, oh, I can't have that because it has too much calories. Oh, I can't do this. Calories, calories, calories. Everything is calories as opposed to the content of what they're eating. And the last reason that I do not think calorie restricting is a good thing is because it can give people the assumption that their weight is a result of their diet, when it could be caused by an underlying condition or something that hasn't been diagnosed. Not every person's body is made the same, and it's important to understand that, one, but also it's important to understand that if something is out of whack in your body, especially something in your hormone system, it can easily cause you to have excess weight. I've even heard a story of someone that hadn't dealt with their trauma, and once they went along and did that, they dropped weight like it was nothing. So sometimes diet isn't a direct correlation to the amount of weight that is on someone's body. So a stat that I found, and I'm reading my notes, so that's why I keep looking down, says that 1/3 to 2/3 of people that calorie restrict in one study gained more weight within 4 to 5 years of that calorie restriction. In essence, calorie restriction doesn't work. I think that we pay too much attention to calories, and we should pay more attention to what a person is eating. And this goes into the second definition of diet. Not all calories are created equal. And I know a lot of people don't know or understand this, but I'm gonna try to break it down really quickly for you guys. So when we look at an apple versus applesauce versus apple juice, which one do you think has the most amount of calories? In your body, the apple in its raw form is going to be the best option for you. Why? Because it has fiber and it is in its whole form, and some of the nutrients in it aren't going to be as, I'm going to use this big term, bioavailable. Basically, your body can't absorb all the things that come in it because it has something called fiber. Now, when we look at the applesauce usually is that raw apple taken, heated up, and then blended together. Because it is in a more processed form, it's going to be more bioavailable, or your body is going to absorb it better. And then when you look at the apple to the apple juice, if you take the apple, you put it in a juicer, now you have apple juice. Now there is no fiber in that apple. Now there's no fiber in what's left of the apple, and it is extremely easy for your body to absorb that. Okay? I hope that made sense. So if you had an apple, applesauce, and apple juice that were all the same amount of calories, the one that you would want to choose is the apple, because it has more fiber, therefore it will be less absorbed in your body. The American diet, the standard American diet, is poor, as I'm sure we all know. And one of the reasons for this is that we don't eat enough fiber in our diet. We have gotten in the habit of eating a lot of processed foods, or should I say foods that come in boxes, foods that come frozen, foods that come, not all frozen things, because I'm a big fan of frozen vegetables and frozen fruits and things of that nature. We go for what's convenient as opposed to what is the best thing, and most people don't know the difference anymore because it's so deep in our culture. Processed food is generally absorbed more in your body versus unprocessed food. And that's something to remember. By changing your diet, it's better if you increase those whole foods. Make sure you get enough fiber in your diet. Make sure you get enough water in your diet. When you eat foods that have fiber, you feel more full. You feed your gut microbiome. You provide yourself with micronutrients. I'm going to put out a lot more videos talking about food and lifestyle, so you'll get to hear some more of that. But the general takeaway from this video is stop calorie restricting and start eating whole, real foods. That's a better way to change your lifestyle around, possibly drop some weight if that's your goal, and a better way to live all around. By changing your diet to a more whole food approach, You can eliminate the side effects that come from calorie restricting, the binging. Eat enough food. It's okay if you eat enough food. It's okay if your calories aren't, it's okay for you not to count calories if you're eating whole foods and in the proper proportions. And the best way to do this, if you're starting from scratch, is to take it day by day. Slowly incorporate things into your diet that you like, but that are also healthy. And as the weeks go on, keep introducing things, keep introducing, and don't take anything away just yet until you get in the habit of adding things that are beneficial. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. And if you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.